Welcome back to Radio Entrepreneurs. I'm Jonathan Freedman. Our next guest, Peda Edouard, founder and co-owner of Mathmatic Athletics. Welcome to Radio Entrepreneurs.
Thanks, John. Thanks for inviting me, man. Appreciate it.
No, great to have you. Always love to hear stories of budding entrepreneurs, and I know you're not quite budding. You've been out of the gate for a while. Tell us a little bit about your company and what it is that you guys do.
Yeah, so I've been at this for a while now. This has been a childhood dream of mine to, work in the sportswear space. So the company's Mathmatic Athletics. We started back in 2014. But prior to that, I was a security officer working at New Balance. So a lot of my, early hands-on experience just had been, walking through the halls of New Balance and picking the brains of all the folks that worked in the marketing and in the production side of things out there, and was really
Good for you. So you had the vision of what you wanted to do. You got in the door. You got the opportunity to get exposed from the other side of it, sort of on the inside, so they say.
yeah,
Uh, Very cool. So tell us a little bit about the evolution and the development of the company.
yeah. So I started out as a streetwear designer. I had a clothing company called Mathmatic Clothing, and most of the merch that we sold was just like t-shirts and hoodies and stuff like that. And then 2014 came around, and I was asked by a coach from Brighton High School if we can design their varsity jackets. They had just won the championship, and like low key, I had always wanted to design like jerseys. And I was like, you know what? I can do more than just design a varsity jacket. I can design the entire, athletic, gear for the team. So that opportunity came about 2013, 2014, and Mathmatic Athletics was started from there. It was started in Dorchester, actually. So was able to do that. My business
If I'm not
model.
mistaken, you're wearing one of your products right there. I could see your logo behind your
Yeah,
arm. So
yeah.
show your wares.
Little track jacket. I try to stay fit. But yeah, we ended up pivoting. From being a B2C brand, and we ended up doing B2B, and that changed the business model. Now I knew exactly who my audience was, which was coaches and athletic directors, and other businesses. So we were able to change that model and really grow from a B2C to B2B. So that really changed a lot for us.
Really interesting. So, just knowing a little bit about that space, it's a tough space to enter because there's always the incumbent, right? You got to go up against somebody who's already making their athletic wear, and then who makes the decision? Is it the coach? Is it the athletic director? Does the principal in a high school have any say in it? So, kudos to you. How did you navigate all that? Because it sounds like at the time you didn't really have the experience to do it. But pretty bold to step in there and say, "Hey, we're going to take it," because somebody was making the uniforms before. So
Yeah.
you stepped in and had the ability to take it over. That's kudos to you. Tell us a little bit about that journey.
Yeah. So as I said, we started 2013, 2014, but I had always been an athlete, played for Charlestown, not the basketball team, but the football team. So I've always been like in the community, the sports community. So a lot of my connections was just really relying on, my network. I knew a lot of the coaches, and, obviously coaches have AAU programs. They, offer other, training. So just being in that like ecosystem, I was able to connect with one coach, and then, another team would see, oh, where'd you get your uniforms from? And they'll, share my contact information. And then I ended up running into the athletic director for Boston Public Schools. So from there, just connecting with Avery, I was able to know like, oh, this is the process you have to go to actually get your uniforms at the school. So becoming a vendor, right, that allowed me to basically sell to multiple schools. So we ended up having 11 programs under contract, and have space in the sportswear industry. And again, like I said, I worked security at New Balance. So, every time I'd see like a New Balance logo, and I'm like, man, they're really dominating like track and field. And then knowing that, wow, like there's opportunity in basketball, like they're not doing that. So I was like, how do I insert myself? And, that was the strategy. It's like, all right, let me first get into the high schools.
So from the high schools, it seems as though you're really looking towards establishing avenues within the communities and really building out your brand at a local level, but from using the high school as the hub or as the base, and I would imagine getting parents and boosters and people like that on board. Is that where you guys have had some success? And um, is that the continued strategy to expand the number of neighborhoods or communities that you're involved in?
Yeah. So funny enough, we ended up switching focus, right? We went back to B2C. As you aware, last year Celtics won their 18th championship, and a lot of companies jumped on that bandwagon, so to speak. But we saw the opportunity to really focus on like the story of what it meant to be a Boston Celtics fan, right? Like everyone's coming from different parts of Boston, greater Boston, being fans of the Celtics. So we really identified like a missing a missing element of the Celtic fan experience, right? Everyone loves the Celtics in Boston. Everyone loves their neighborhood. Yet there's not a product that they can both put their name on. So what we did was we figured out, wow, people love where they're from, right? And they also love the Celtics. Let's create product around that. And then also let's create an experience. So we were able to like figure out like, let's create a watch party for Celtics fans. And that's, we had a proof of concept October 22nd, right, for the banner watch party. And we did an event at Dorchester Brewery, and we were able to, solve like the hypothesis of like, would people come out to a Celtics watch party, and would they also buy merch that had their neighborhood on it? And
We know the first one would be a definite yes, right? Celtics fans,
yeah,
rabid, for sure they're going to come out. So great idea. And the merch, people were pumped about the merch. I take it also because I see that you've now expanded into multiple communities.
yeah. So far we have about 20 neighborhoods
Oh
um,
wow!
on our 20 SKUs right now. So
And that's all done direct B2C. People
yeah,
come to your website and okay. And
yeah.
how are you getting the word out amongst the communities? Is that largely social media?
Mostly social media. So we collaborate with a lot of content creators in Boston. Dart Adams, who's basically the voice of Boston. He's the historian for Boston. So everyone, anytime someone like wants to proof check or fact check anything, they go to Dart. So he's someone that he's the griot of Boston. So we used his network. We also used his storytelling abilities to basically, blast the whole neighborhood collection. So that was a success for last year and going on to this year too.
So you have to be, a huge Boston sports fan slash cheerleader. You want they got to put up another banner somewhere for you to have the next opportunity to come up with a whole other line extension. I'm only kidding with that, but is
I
that
don't
is
want to
that
jinx it
you know
though.
is, and, I mean I guess that's the hope, right? That the next one, or I'm sure you've got plenty of other concepts up your sleeve to come out with, but really, I wish you would have come out in 2000, with that run with the Pats, they had such a great
Yeah.
run going. You would have had a lot
It's
of,
funny.
but
It's funny because we just dropped a we just dropped a piece. It was "Welcome to New England, where winning is tradition," and we had ads like pumped into it, and just the comments. I had to shut it down because the comments were insane, and it was just like. It was like, yeah, someone left a comment saying, yeah, when winning was a tradition. I was like, all right, we might have to alter this ad. But I think the fact that we are Boston, Boston is a winning city, right? We're known to win. and everyone loves their team when they're winning. And at the end of the day, we try to, you know, we try to take advantage of that. But I think, we still try to use the storytelling to talk about, remember that time when the Patriots were winning? You know what I mean? So it's like
Right. Use
stuff
the
like that.
nostalgia. Use the
Yeah, we
nostalgia
try to
and
use
the
nostalgia
tradition and things of
still.
that nature. No, that's really
So
cool. I was going to say it's a matter of perspective and maybe age too. I've got some gray hair, and I used to say to my kids as they were growing up and watching all these championships happen, I said it wasn't always this way, and it won't always be this way. We can hope, but it's not going to be.
yeah,
So it really depends on how long you've been around. I mean, I think back to those Red Sox fans and how long they waited for a championship. Peter, the thoughts moving forward, expansion, other cities, other communities. I mean, I'm sure that Boston's not the only city with rabid patriotism, so to speak, in terms of
right.
their own towns and villages and that opportunity. Do you see that in expansion, other cities across the country, other cities around the world?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think, everyone loves their home team, So I think the we have the ability to like take this on the road. I think there's a lot of work that still needs to be done in Boston. There's this 1,000 true fans concept that I'm still trying to tackle down with it. We're a couple hundred away, but I feel by the summer we'll be able to hit that mark. But there's a lot of stuff that we have in place for this year. The watch party is one of them. We have some cool partnerships with Reebok that I'm excited about because I always want to work with a sportswear company.
Excellent. Is the watch
we
party, is there an event date on the calendar?
Yes, so it's set for Saturday, the 25th. It's the rematch of last year's finals, so
Excellent.
it's going to be a good one. We're over at High Street Place. It's a beautiful location. They have like one of the biggest monitors, the 93-foot monitor. So we get to experience the game as close to, as a TD garnered experience as you could get without spending $1,000.
Fantastic. Peda Edouard, founder and co-owner of Mathmatic Athletics. If people want to learn more about your product, want to learn more about you and talk to you, maybe reach out, help you out, what's the best way for them to reach you?
Yeah, social media, really, Mathmatic Athletics, and then www.mathematicathletics.com. And yeah.
It's been a real pleasure having you on, learning your story, true entrepreneurship. You had a dream, you followed that dream, you expanded it into a market, and it sounds like, and it looks like, I don't know if that's still, if that's version one of what you're wearing, but it looks like great stuff. So, obviously you make some great
Prototype.
stuff, and you're building wonderful community. Wish you continued success. I will say, soccer, baby, that's where the rabid fans are. And I see that international expansion for you because those
Absolutely.
guys will grab anything. And then the other one that blew my mind, I was in Europe in a city where a Formula One race was going. Man, those guys buy merchandise. So,
Uh,
it's
we're eyeing that next year too.
yeah, it's
With FIFA coming to Boston or Foxborough.
absolutely grab that opportunity, and love to hear you make a go of it, and we really appreciate you coming on, telling your story.
Thank you so much.
And we'll be right back with another segment on Radio Entrepreneurs.